Oh, New York City. It's a gorgeous city to explore, to walk around aimlessly without any direction, without any itinerary, just finding whatever you find, bumping into whatever you bump into, trying any coffee we might just see on the way there. Today, we're going to embrace that aimless exploration of New York City on what I call a wandering. Here on Urbanist Exploring Cities, I do various different types of live streams, from your tours such as neighborhoods and history tours to shorter live streams where I cover a particular landmark or a restaurant. But these are wanderings, and I love doing these type of live streams so I can show you the beauty of how easy it is to explore any given city. So without further ado, let's walk New York City, Lower Manhattan specifically, from Greenwich Village area all the way to SoHo. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist. Let me know where you're watching from. Right now we're looking at 14th Street, and we basically can see all the way down to the East River. Let me know where you think we're starting. Many of you might already recognize exactly where we are starting. So many of you are probably already writing it down furiously on your keyboards or your type pads. This, of course, Afra's got it correct. This is the High Line. So we're starting a little bit before Greenwich Village, but we're gonna get there very soon. This is the area was called the Meatpacking District. And I love walking through these areas. They're amongst the most walkable areas of all of New York City. So it is a great way to kind of, if you're a little bit hesitant to aimlessly wander, these neighborhoods are the best for any beginners to aimless wanders. So right here we have the Nabisco factory that is now known as the Chelsea Market. YT's offices are actually inside there as well. Manolito, how you doing? How you doing, Manolito? Welcome, Manolito. Nice to see you here. So if you want to watch full in-depth tours of the High Line, I actually have one specifically all about the architecture, and I cover the history of the High Line as well. Check out that video after this one. But today we're going to go onto the streets. They're not so mean like they used to be. They're nicer streets, don't worry. Mandy, you were hoping I would go live. Hello, Kenya. Nice to see you. Kenya's on Team Like. Trisha, our super urbanist mod. Welcome. You're on Team Like as well. Hello, Danny from Knoxville, Tennessee. Melissa, nice to see you here. Lena, welcome. So here we have the Standard Hotel. The Standard Hotel has a notorious reputation for people doing indecent exposure. I won't describe what that is, just in case you're watching with the little ones. But if you're curious, watch a movie called Shame. Girl, the LA Standard is closed. Oh no. You know, I never stayed at the Standard, though I have gone to the Club LeBain, which is on the rooftop a few times. It's a really cool club. Really beautiful views. But sad to hear that the Standard in LA is closing. Trisha says, don't zoom in too much. That's right, Trisha. We gotta watch out with the zooming. So right over here, oh my god, look at these views. This is the new park. I can't wait to visit this new park that's opening up soon. Let me actually peek a view through this netting right here. So I can't wait to walk through this newest park coming out soon. Looking forward to seeing this area. Many clubs in the area are... Yeah, clubs are still closed indeed. As we saw in Bushwick, they're starting to open up in Brooklyn, but still in Manhattan they're closed for the most part. That park looks amazing. I agree, it's looking very nice. At first it looked a little bit weird, but now that they are putting the vegetation on, it looks a lot better. And I'm so glad that they used the original gate where the ocean liners landed during that great era of ocean lining in the late 1800s. And the Titanic was supposed to land here. Belabes, nice to see you here. Alexandra, hello Savannah, hello Dwayne. In Edmonton, they're only allowing patio dining. Oh, interesting. Yeah, rules are very different, and I'm contemplating going to a particular area where they just have not been doing anything with restrictions, which might be interesting kind of difference to show you. Let's go through here. Which each park had different materials, says Rebel Poet, and furniture designs. They're all using that chromish European style thing. I agree, Rebel. That is a really good point. I think everyone's really copying the High Line. The High Line was inspired by the Parc Planty in Paris, slightly, not fully, just slightly. I think everyone's just really copying this High Line style, which exploded in popularity when they initially opened in the 2000s. And I think every other park just wants to do the same thing. Okay, thank you so much for shouting out the PayPal. I appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Here's Little 12th Street. Hey, Lapin. See the new offices here in the Meatpacking district. And we see, I think this is 10 Hudson Yards, this one right here, 10 Hudson Yards. So this is Washington Street. And Wendy says, pleased to see you all again. Wendy, nice to see you here. Welcome. Contrast looks like Boston. Yeah, Boston has done many similar things to New York in that regard in terms of its urban design in the past 2 decades. Excuse me. Miles says, I was just in New York City yesterday and Saturday and Friday. And you had a blast. You stayed at the Hyatt Place. I'm glad you found a great hotel. And you went to Times Square and had a blast. I'm so glad that that is the case. And I went for my birthday on the 17th and also went to Intrepid. Oh, Miles, that's so cool to hear. I'm glad you enjoy your birthday. Happy belated birthday, Miles. The spring colors are starting to come alive. They are indeed. Hello, Dave. Nice to see you here. Welcome.
Ej, tam mi sa strува по-широко.
Everything's blooming, says Wendy. It is indeed. And here is the huge air conditioner. I mean, Whitney Museum. Designed by Renzo Piano in Art Aircon Deco. I actually do love the building. It's also a great museum to visit. The admission price is $25, so it's a bit steep, but the museum is actually really worth it. Come here at night. Try to come here when the nights are free, which I think are Thursday nights. And you can also access the terraces. In the terraces, you have amazing views of Chelsea. And on the most upmost terrace, you have views of downtown Manhattan. Panajota says it indeed looks like a AC. It's art aircon deco. That's what it is. Hey Steve, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. What is this? Oh my god, this is like slightly disturbing. It's a piece of art made by Rebecca Belmore. It looks like someone just made an occult ritual right over here. It says that Rebecca Belmore and Oswaldo Hierro collaborated on projects rooted in the material nature of art and its relationship to body, land, and language. Belmore and Hierro's sculpture references two marble statues of sirens. Sirens are the mermaids that call on men and then prey on them. The siren is a mythological female figure rumored to lure sailors to their death with their song. Belmore and Hierro's sirens represent contemporary youth who sing to warn of planet's devastation. Wendy says, cover it up. It's a bit disturbing. Just a little disturbing with a huge hand sticking out of its kind of head. Or Rebel says, I think I dated her once. Rebel. That's funny. Here we got the overlook. Highly recommend coming to this little part. Sometimes people miss it because you have to, it's a little bit before the entrance. There we see the edge in the distance. The edge referring to the tallest outdoor observation deck in the world at 30 Hudson Yards. I have another video on that. Check it out after this broadcast. I just went to Warby Parker to get myself a second pair of glasses right down there. Lots of cool shops around here. Bubby's used to be here, but they closed down this location, which is kind of a shame. I was on the edge on Friday, says Maria. You mean metaphorically or like literally on the edge? Metaphorically, I feel bad. I hope you're doing well. If you were literally on the edge, that's awesome. Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, Action Kid, nice to see you here. Welcome. The statue is disturbing, but does not come close to the Peace Fountain next to St. John the Divine, or the one that's in right behind Columbia University. Action Kid, remember that? That looked like the Peace Fountain, but just mushed up. What is the cost to be on the High Line? The cost is free, luckily. Yeah, you don't need to pay anything on the High Line. On the weekends, I think you still have to reserve a spot. but you can easily do that online. It's free. Let's go to the Highline website and follow their instructions. Pro tip, they have bathrooms and they're very clean. So on the weekday, you don't need to reserve a spot. You could just walk in. Chris says, I think art creates an emotion, then it must be working. Maybe that's the case. Now, let's go down onto street level and see what we will find. Mater says, your Edge live stream was when I started watching your channel. Oh, Mater. It's been a few months. That's amazing. All right, let's explore. So as we're walking around, feel free to ask any questions whatsoever. We're exploring right now the Meatpacking district, but we're gonna head straight to Greenwich Village and kind of zigzag around there. So let me know if you have any questions, any curiosities, any concerns, any, I don't know, any emotional dilemmas. Let me know. Wendy says, love my jacket. Oh, thank you so much, Wendy. I appreciate it. Why is it called Houston? Houston is named by another guy. Forgot his full name. I don't know too much about the Houston. But it's not named after Sam Houston of Texas. So Houston was spelled slightly differently, I think, the original spelling. Great question. What's on the menu today, Sarge? Maybe a coffee or a fashion show. Should we join this fashion show over here? This fashion shoot. Let me know. Tom says, looking sharp, man. I dig the attire. Oh, thank you so much, Tom. Meatpacking. Where's the beef? There's like 2 or 3 places that still sell beef, but it's pretty much gone at this point. All right, should we join the fashion shoot? Are most businesses open, says Miz. Yes, they are indeed. They are indeed. You can easily access the majority of most businesses. The ones that are still closed are like the businesses that are mostly indoors and yeah, that depend only indoors. So that's like nightclubs, concert venues, theaters, stand-up comedy shows, and like indoor restaurants. Some of them are closed. Christine, thank you so much for the 100 stars. Is there a famous person over here? I think it's some type of either photo shoot or movie shoot. Let's see what type of cameras we spot. Yeah, this is looking like a movie shoot, actually. Is it a movie shoot? No, this can't be a movie shoot. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so they're using a cinema camera right there. And they're doing this kind of shot with people sitting on a table drinking coffee. Ronald says GQ ain't got enough to afford Ariel. If you got one of your cool looking masks, then you should be allowed to do your shoot. I do indeed. I have my leopard print mask. Sophia says, make an appearance. Yes. Dill, what happened to the nightclubs? They're still closed due to restrictions. It might be an ad shoot. Yeah. Who said that? Fourth Hokage. Yes, I think it might be an ad shoot. It doesn't quite look like it's a film because there's extremely pretty people here wearing fashionable clothing. And even though Hollywood does also have extremely pretty people wearing fashionable clothing, usually they're not that pretty and it's not that fashionable. So I think that's the case. Joe says looks like a commercial. Yeah, I think it is. Could be a fashion video. Could be too. Yeah, could be. Bob making an appearance. You missed it, says Muddy. Oh no, I missed Bob. I'm wary of when to invite him over because he invites too many friends. Wow, this corner is looking great. So here's Gansevoort with all the beautiful white blossoms already turning green. Beautiful. I just love these kind of street scenes here in New York City. Do they pay time to make a commercial? So, and when it comes to any type of movie shoot in the city, they have to get a permit, which costs a lot of money. I think permits go usually minimum $1 million for most productions. I think you have to do other things and have other grants in order to get a lower permit. So yeah, permits $1 million. Then you have to pay, of course, everyone who's working there. So you have to pay the models, you have to pay the assistants, you have to pay the gaffer, you have to pay the cameramen, everyone. You have to pay everyone. So those are two things they pay. And then I think usually with cities they have an arrangement with like local caterers and things like that, but I'm not too sure. So it's quite a multi-step process to film anything. That's why permits run about $1 million. Yep, you heard that right. $1 million to film with a permit. And you got to pay the unions, right? Thank you, Chris. The unions as well. I'm not sure if they're local unions per se. I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, listen. If what you're suggesting is like Today Ticks would be like the official ticketing partner for this, and they could have branding.
Hey, Alexandra says New York City will be blossoming with films right now. Yes. There's something interesting happening right now in New York City. Is in the U.S. there's now heavy competition because Hollywood, Los Angeles, had a stronghold over film, or films being shot there, over businesses being there, etc. They had a stronghold for nearly a century. But now they're loosening that stronghold. In decades past, they competed with cities like Vancouver. And most recently, the past 20 years, with like London, and with New York as well. But now Atlanta is swallowing up almost all those movie deals. So a lot of the films are now being made in Atlanta here in America. And New York is trying to now compete with not just Hollywood, but also Atlanta for getting these film projects, which is a little bit tough. So even movies that take place in New York City sometimes are partly or fully shot in Atlanta. Something like Doctor Strange, which is a Marvel film, even though there's like 2 or 3 scenes in New York and the film takes place mostly in New York City, it's mostly shot in Atlanta. So yeah, that's the interesting thing about happening with the film industry. So the film industry brings a lot of money. New York City wants a piece of that. Toronto, yeah, you're right. Toronto is also another film hub, but no city Vancouver, Toronto, New York, London. No city has competed as strongly as Atlanta in the past decade. Kay says new shirt. Indeed, I do have a new shirt, yes. All of you are very astute. Yes, I do have indeed a new shirt. And this jacket I haven't worn too much. I just wanted an excuse to wear this jacket. I was so happy that today was that perfect temperature to wear this particular jacket. So it's about like 64, 63 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah. And this is Scotch and Soda, and this is Bonobos. Both companies you can find here in New York City. Let's go. Must be hot. No, doesn't feel too hot. It's a bit cloudy. That's why. Here in New York City in the springtime, it gets a little bit tricky because sometimes it's 64 degrees Fahrenheit and hot because there's a lot of sun. And sometimes it's 64 degrees and cold because there's no sun. It's cloudy. Oh, toilet brush. Yeah, I understand the Will Smith movie, Pull Atlanta. I won't get into the politics of that. That's a whole other issue. All right. So, who wants to go on the coffee break? Let me know. So there's one particular spot I actually visited on a live video, similar wandering to this. I've been meaning to go back because I was so blown away by their coffee. This place is the place to get a nice Swedish fika. So for all my Swedish viewers out there, do you guys want to grab some fika? For everyone else, do you want to grab some coffee? Let me know. Here it is. Fabrik, 348 14th Street. Let's go inside. We gotta wait. Hey, how's it going? I'll have an Americano, please. And do you guys have the cardamom buns? Ooh, okay. I'll have one cardamom bun, please. That's all. Very little water right now. What do you want? Yeah. Why you guys are not super packed right now? Because there was a line. Do people usually come during lunchtime? That's why? Yeah, work around the area, so they come for like their breaks and stuff like that. Oh. Or they take back to their friends. Yeah, I mean, you guys truly make some of the best pastries. Thank you. Yeah. place is absolutely amazing. It usually is packed to the brim with people, but it was actually really empty right now, which is, we got very lucky. And they actually have a cardamom bun, which is what they're famous for. They usually don't have this. It sells out very early in the day. So I'm so excited to show it to all of you. The theme song is like me waiting in the phone, says easy peasy. Yeah, I mean, that's the type of music. So let me know, were you guys able to hear the music when I muted? Because I'm not using a microphone today, that's why. All right, let me show you the coffee and the amazing. So yeah, let me know if you were able to hear the music when I muted, because I'm not using my microphone, so I'm using a slightly different setup, and I want to know if you're able to hear the music in this setup. So I'm gonna do a test right now before I show you all the food. I'm gonna mute right now. Awesome, so were you able to hear the music? Yes, okay, great. Thank you everyone for letting me know. All right, awesome. Let's continue on the show. Thank you for letting me know. This is good news, actually. Very good news. That means I can take music breaks. Chris, I have that album playing in the car on Spotify all the time now. Oh, so glad. So here, look at this. Oh my God, the crema on this coffee is just unbelievable. And this is Americano, so it did not get diluted with all the water. Look how beautiful this crema is. Oh my God. So crema right there, beautiful espresso. Make sure this is sealed correctly. And let's open this up. So this is famous in Sweden. This is a cardamom bun. Famous Swedish bun. Cardamom is a spice. Let me know where cardamom comes from, but it is a spice. Very good when combined with pancakes. I use cardamom on my pancakes and bananas and other treats. Look at that. Let's open it up actually. There we go. Ooh, filled to the brim with cardamom. So I'm so excited for this. Cardamom used to be a luxury. It used to be very expensive. But now, luckily, no, nowadays it's not. Cardamom is made in India. Yes, yes, yes it is. So let's try out the cardamom bun. Is it warm? No. But it is super cardamom-y. Cardamom is very, very strong. In a good way. Cardamom has this, especially when it's as fresh as they have it here, it's not powderized like you might get in the grocery store. There's a slight mintiness to it. And that mintiness, really great. Tastes a little bit like allspice, a little bit like nutmeg. So is it sweet or savory? It's more on the sweeter side, but not too sweet. This is not like your typical American Cinnabon. Cinnabon, where you can get it. All these other places stuffed with sugar, stuffed with a bunch of icing. No, none of that. So it's more kind of on the neutral side. The cardamom itself isn't like super sweet. It's not as kind of tangy as cinnamon. It's more kind of earthy, more kind of fragrant. Slight mintiness to it. Yeah, slight bitterness to it. Thank you, Rebel. Yeah, slight bitterness to it. It's really good. Does it smell like a candle? No. Unless if you get buttery candle. If you get a butter candle, then yeah. It smells buttery. Well, I really like it because it's not super sweet. I was a little bit afraid that this was going to be very sweet, but it's actually really mild in a good way. You don't want to be overwhelmed with sugar when having these type of cardamom buns because you want to taste the cardamom. You don't want to taste the icing and all the sugar.
No, she's a Polish one. Yeah, the Polish one. She's the one that used to work upstairs.
It tastes like a candle. And yeah, fingers do get sticky. All right, let's try this coffee. Let's do it. Cheers. Alexandra, you don't like the sugar coat on it? Yeah, me too. Oh my god. Wow. This coffee, absolutely mind-blowingly delicious. They do something where the coffee, as I mentioned, is like the best of both worlds. You get that kind of chocolatey, nutty flavors that you get usually with Italian espresso, while having kind of that fragrantness that you get with American Brooklyn-style coffee. Oh wow, absolutely amazing. Highly recommend it. Mater says, mind blown indeed. Carmen and a good coffee. Can't go wrong with that. Great for a fika. Let's continue walking around, shall we? So this is Fabrique, 348 14th Street. Fabrique, highly recommend it. Great place. Rebel, you picked up steak pie from Keswick yesterday. Did you enjoy it, Rebel? I'm actually very tempted to get some Keswick after this live stream. Joe says, didn't Austin Powers have a nutty espresso? Maybe he did. I think that might be a joke that he said, yeah. And what film was it? Number 1, 2, or 3? Wow, that lady just sneezed. Indeed she did. Indeed she did. Indeed she did. That was not the most comfortable place to talk to the camera. Way too many people started lining up for that restaurant, and then there was like 2 people staring at me, so it was not the most comfortable place. That's why I'm walking and talking with my coffee, real New York style. Let's do it. I have another coffee recommendation right over here. Sarah says, congrats on your Huntington stream. Entertaining and well put together. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate that. When will the next mega stream be? Stay tuned. We're working if we can get a sponsor for these videos. So Gasoline Alley Coffee, highly recommend it. Really great coffee shop. Oscar, yes, I passed that church. Indeed, it's a very beautiful church. Highly recommend it. If anyone could remind me of the name, I think it's San Guadalupe is the name of the church we passed. Hello, Claire. Hello, Teresa. That's a CVS, yes. This historic bank building is now CVS, yep. See the Empire State Building kicking up there? Wendy, not at this moment with the church, because I am still currently drinking my coffee. And unfortunately, we're still not at a time during this global pandemic where you can sip a coffee while contemplating the beauty of your life in the church. Unfortunately, that is not the case right now. I wish it was, because I used to do that. It's very beautiful, drinking coffee in the church. What coffee is this blend? So this is made by Brooklyn Roasting Company. I'm not sure what the blend is, but it does have, as I mentioned, it's an interesting blend where it does taste a little bit Italian style with its kind of chocolatiness. It's kind of deep flavor, but also has a little bit of that fragrancy, that kind of fruitiness of a Brooklyn style coffee. They just found like the perfect both worlds. Lali, how am I doing? Well, I'm doing very well. Give Ariel time to enjoy deeply his Monday. Indeed. So, Alexandra, did you make this street art? Look at that. You make this street art, Alexandra? You see Alec right there. It's the Monopoly man with the parachute. That is genius. So for people who might not know what the symbolism is, let me know. Actually, let me know. Does anyone know what the symbolism of this is? Because I think it's a very, very clever, very clever. Manolito says I suck at Monopoly. Rebel says no idea. Monopoly madness. Okay, so in Wall Street and a bunch of other financial companies, any type of financial industry, there is a concept called the golden parachute, or a golden parachute is actually not a different thing. It's called a parachute. And basically when you're fired or the company goes under, there is a clause in your contract where you get paid massive amounts of money. You get paid like a massive bonus. Of course, don't quote me on that. Do your own research with this. But you get a massive bonus. And that is called the parachute. So, yes, the company could absolutely go bankrupt like Lehman Brothers a few years ago. And you still get your big, big bonus. So that's the Monopoly man. He's associated with with wealth, with riches, and he has the parachute. But the parachute on it has a huge logo of I love New York. So basically what they're saying, I think, is that the finance industry that crashed and burned about a decade ago was subsidized by the city and the government overall. So, so I think that's the symbolism that they're giving it. Susie says golden parachute. Yes, golden parachute, but not to be confused with, there's something else called a golden parachute. Christine, thank you so much for sending another 100 stars. I appreciate you. Someone's left a super chat. Let me know who it was. Do let me know. Robert. Thank you. Let's not get into the politics, but you know, it's a fun thing to see. This is a beautiful park. I absolutely love hanging out in this park. I think it was Diana Lee. Thank you, Diana Lee, for £5 super chat. Appreciate you. Claire says that parachute saves you. Indeed, if you work in the finance industry and are executive, doesn't matter if your company will go under. You're gonna get a massive payout. Pam, thank you so much for 500 stars. I appreciate you. All right, let's go through the Greenwich Village and make our way to SoHo. Not to be confused with the Soho in London. London, they called it SoHo because apparently it was a hunting call. Royal family used to hunt in those grounds, and they would yell SoHo, I think, when they shot an animal. But here, no. It's just named south of Houston. Beautiful stores right over here. So now we're transitioning into Greenwich Village, and we're going to see a lot more boutique stores. Helena says, wow, it has changed. Lots of bikes. Pam says, love your adventures. I'll be back in July. Lalit says, I have a nice smile and you think it's such a beautiful city. I'm so glad you think so, Lalit. Thank you for watching. Susie says, let's go shopping. I'll point out a few stores. We'll do that. Mark sent 100 stars. Thank you so much, Mark. Lali says, please one day come to India. I really do want to go to India one day. Stay tuned. Alexandra says, we need to get your socks. Oh, what socks are you referring to, Alexandra? If you're really curious, a lot of people are curious. I'll show you. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Oh, Wendy, you're referring to Bowie socks. You know, I have not gotten them yet. I had to get them at some point. Stay tuned. SF Field says scandalous. Oh yeah, scandalous. I wear parrots on my feet. Cutesy says Kenya. Indeed it is, Kenya. Indeed it is. Rainer says cool shoes. SF Field says the Queen wouldn't approve. Would I be looked at weird when I go to small towns in England? Let me know. Rosie, thank you so much for a $10 super chat. I appreciate you, Rosie. Thank you. Puerto Rico tropical socks with those leather kicks. Indeed. I really like your shoes and socks combo. Oh, thank you. I appreciate all the kind support. Because of the super chatters, the star senders, the PayPalers, the patrons, and the super urbanists, you are the sponsor for this show. In many other platforms, other types of channels, people are, the viewers are treated as the product to be sold to sponsors, to advertisers. But for me, no, you guys, all of you who are watching right now, you are the viewers, you are the customers. So thank you for tuning in. And let's continue walking around. There's actually a apartment tour video of the penthouse over here. It's gorgeous. It's one of the penthouses that really blew me away. Michael Kors lives here. I think it's this one. It might be this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. Michael Kors lives on this penthouse. The fashion designer. Here's a casual food recommendation. This is Mighty Quinn's. The Mighty Quinn's sells really great barbecue. Casually, can sit down here, have a great bite. Someone left a $4 super chat. Who was it? Let's see. Debbie, thank you so much for a $5 sticker. Thank you so much for a $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Sessa Fields, you saw that before. Oh, I'm so glad. Knock on the door for a visit. I would love to visit Michael Kors. The guy seems both someone I wouldn't get along with and someone I would. It's like, he's like one of those people. I'm not sure if you get what I mean. You know, those people you kind of love and hate at the same time. That's what strikes me with Michael Kors. Oh my God, beautiful street. What is this? Whoa, beautiful street alert. The penthouse views are unobstructed. They are from this view, yeah, they are. Sandra, you're not such a fan of the ribs at Mighty Quinn's. You say that they're dry. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't had them in about a year. I used to be a big fan of them back in the day. I haven't had them in quite a while, so maybe they have changed. But yeah, you won't get restaurant quality ribs. Wow, this is a gorgeous street. Michael Ernst is asking, is this a replay? Yes, Michael Ernst, you are watching right now a replay. It's not live right now. But I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying the replay. Thank you so much for tuning in for the replay. Robert says he knew you were going to ask that. Yeah, I knew that from the very beginning. I knew a Michael Ernst would tune in and ask, hey, is this live or a replay? And that's why I planned it all along when I made this video yesterday. Ogilia, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much, Ophelia. Love this stream. You put some peanut emoji. I'm not sure what that means, Ophelia, but thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate you. The peanut emoji is a bit suspicious, but I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh my God. Beauty, everyone. Beauty. Look at this beauty. Okay, so here's my car. I'll be back here later to go for a joyride. Valentina, do I have any job in New York City? No, Valentina. Valentina, I wander the streets of New York with a camera. I have no job, just a camera and just the urge to keep on walking. Some call that a job. Others say you're just a dude. I don't know. It's up to you. What do you think, Valentina? Hey, Roseanne, still with you. Has been a journey. Missed talking with you. Still in recuperation. Oh, Roseanne. Everyone give hearts to Roseanne on Facebook. She's recuperating. Is it from a surgery? If you want to share, feel free to share. But everyone send hearts for Roseanne. She's a long-term viewer. Awesome person. Always leaves amazing comments. So give her a round of hearts and wish her well, a speedy recovery. And also, I want to extend that speedy recovery wishes to Stephanie. I haven't seen Stephanie tune in alive for a while. She did go into surgery about 2 weeks ago. So I hope she's doing well. I hope she's recovering. So send hearts to Stephanie and Roseanne. Roland says, I left the keys on the white Miata for you. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I could just be in the street. I just want to like set up a chair and just sit on the street, like in the middle of it. Even though there's cars passing through, I still want to sit in the middle of the street and just enjoy the views. Who would do that? Let me know. Will you take a chair and just plop yourself down right here with the coffee and just stare down the street? It's not creepy at all. Don't worry. People won't think you're some type of Japanese horror ghost. Just make sure you don't have your hair covering your face. Then yes, they might get that impression if you do that while sitting down in the middle of the street with a cup of coffee. Michelle says I would. Gwen says I would. Gorgeous but not get run over, says Wendy. Wow. I can't get enough of this views. Absolutely amazing. Oh, look how beautiful. Wow. Kathy says Stephanie was on YouTube a few days ago. It's good to see her back. Oh, I'm glad Stephanie's okay. Miss, do I ever bike ride in New York City? No, not really. I'm not too much of a fan of bike riding yet. At this very moment in time, I'm not. Get yourself a director's chair and you can direct all the streets going on, says Gary. Indeed, Gary. Indeed I can. Wow. Amazed. Is this church open? St. John's Episcopal? Let's check it out. Let's see. Episcopal churches are usually closed here in New York City. Let me know. Someone told me if it was the case in UK. Oh, it is open. Okay, so it is open. Let me finish this. Let me know if you want to walk into the church. I'll finish drinking this coffee and then we'll walk inside. If there weren't restrictions, as I mentioned before, I would take this coffee, sit down, and contemplate on the beauty of life while sipping a great cup of coffee. Holy water in the cup. That's what this is. Wow. Bear with me. Put on my mask. Hey, how's it going? Huh? It's gorgeous. Do you know how to get into it?
Yeah.
This one? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, wonderful. Beautiful church. First time I walked inside here. Yeah.
My first time walking out here, 360.
In three.
I see people doing 360.
Right. I can imagine. Yeah.
When I went to corridor, I had that old Japanese like courtyard kind of thing.
Oh, it did. Oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome. All right, I'm gonna check it out. Thank you. Yeah.
There's also a gallery in the back.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After you get to courtyard,
Yeah.
you go through that door that's open, or through that door, you can go in the gallery, a small gallery, but you can take pictures around.
Yeah.
And then you exit on that side.
Oh, that's good to know. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wow. Oh my God. Beautiful. So we have entered a courtyard of dreams. Hi there. How's it going?
Good.
Beautiful gallery you have here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our April show.
Oh, nice.
Do you have a catalogue?
Oh, you do? Oh, very cool. What's the artist?
Rose Hartman,
Rose Hartman. Okay.
very well-known international photographer.
Very 70s style, I assume. Oh, taken during the 70s.
Summer, yeah, she, a lot of her work from that time is what she's most internationally known for.
Yeah.
And this is some of that kind of archival work.
Oh, fascinating.
Studio 54 and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. I got that vibe. Just looking at it immediately. Was she a patron of the church?
She's a friend of the parish.
Oh.
She lives in the village.
Oh, still living in the village.
Yes.
That's amazing. Very cool. We got Mick Jagger. Oh, cool. Studio 54.
Are you a local?
I am. Yeah.
Village.
Not to the village. No, to the city.
Okay.
Village. Always a blast to see all these beautiful places.
And now that good weather's coming, we've got all these lovely outdoor things that the cafes and restaurants developed. It'll be the usual as last summer, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because last summer was the first time we really had lots of outdoor dining and drinking.
Right.
Because of the pandemic. It was never like that before. So it became very European in flavour.
That's why I like now that they are doing this. Yeah.
Same this summer as well.
It feels a lot more pleasant walking around, and
Yeah.
now you can easily go to the restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, no longer crammed in tiny little spaces. Yeah, that's amazing.
If you want to share any images on Instagram,
Yeah.
use our Instagram hashtag as well.
Oh, will do.
To the
What's?
program.
It's in the program. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. What's your name?
My name's Father Crane.
Father Crane. Thank you so much. Have a good day. So that was Father Crane. Interesting accent. Not sure where he's from. Definitely sounds like UK/Ireland. Cool. Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Highly recommend coming into this little art gallery over here. And Mick Jagger, he was known for hosting gigantic parties. And this is the woman, what's her name? Bianca Jagger. They hosted a huge party for her with a white horse and everything. It was a really crazy party at Studio 54. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. So that was amazing. Highly recommend walking into St. John's Episcopal Church here. A lot of Episcopal churches are named St. John's. I mean, we have St. John the Divine as well. But this one is located in Greenwich Village. And that exhibit is really cool. It's Studio 54 and Rose Hartman. Those photos are very iconic, especially that Bianca Mick Jagger one is very famous. So that's really cool to just bump into, out of all the places, a Studio 54 photo exhibit inside an Episcopal church. This is why I love wanderings, everyone. And I actually did a vote with super urbanists, people who support the show on a monthly basis, asking them what type of videos they want to see more of in the future. So I do about 5 different types of videos, different types of live streams like tours, shorter live streams. I do 360 videos and I do vlogs, and I do these wanders. And a lot of people, I actually was pleasantly surprised, a lot of people have voted that they would like to see more wanderings. Out of all the things, they enjoy wanderings, and a very close second is the history tours. And this is what I can't replicate in a tour. I mean, I kind of can, but I think it's a lot more fun to just spontaneously bump into these places. Because no matter how much research you can do of a place, you can know it as intimately as possible. I know New York City pretty intimately, and I still cannot account for random happenstances as walking into a beautiful church, talking to a father, talking to a guy who was in the church as well, and just bumping into a Studio 54 exhibit. I mean, that's really unique. So let's continue walking around. I hope you enjoyed it. That's so awesome. And it's cool that they had an exit on both sides. Just imagine what those photographs are worth. I think quite a lot. I think a lot of people would pay quite a bit of money for Studio 54 photos. Oh, another pretty street. Valentina, I'm a Christian. I was raised Catholic. I wouldn't say I practiced as a Christian necessarily specifically, but I was raised Catholic. I tend to defer to the answer that Mahatma Gandhi gave to a journalist when he was doing his protests. The journalist asked him, "Are you a Hindu or are you a Muslim?" And Gandhi responded, "I'm a Hindu." And the guy started noting on his pad very quickly, kind of like, "Okay, cool, and now I confirm Gandhi is a Hindu." And Gandhi stopped him and said, "I'm also a Muslim." And the guy was like, "Okay, this is really confusing." So he went down, jotted again. And then Gandhi was like, "But I'm also a Christian, and I'm also a Jew, and I'm also a Buddhist. I'm also all these things." So all these things combined, I'm the same thing. Petter, thank you so much for the 100 Swedish krona. I appreciate you, Petter. Thank you. Ariel is a common Jewish name. It is a Hebrew name, but it's also very common amongst Christians and Jews alike in Caribbean nations. All right, let's go. Joe says, "I'm a Roman Catholic and I have a lot of guilt." I think I can imagine, yes. The Bianca and Mick Jagger goes for $3,500 unsigned. That's a pretty low price. I would expect it higher. That's probably like the starting bid price. Are you near the East River? No. I'm quite far away from the East River. What day can we see a John Lennon tour? Yes, John, I already have a John Lennon tour. Check it out, search John Lennon Urbanist. Full tour, go to all the places in depth of where he visited, the places he loved. Check it out. It's your answer. I also have David Bowie's New York, Alexander Hamilton's New York, Nikola Tesla's New York. So I have those 4 videos. Let me know if you want me to continue that series with other specific individuals. Here we got back massager. A back massager, yes, at Pleasure Chest. You can soothe your back. with this back massager. This is the pleasure chest, which was depicted in the very first season of Sex and the City, because they were shopping for back massagers, and and there was a specific back massager called the Rabbit, the Jackrabbit. Here we have more massage equipment. Yes, yes, perfect for massages. I would walk in, but I don't think they appreciate cameras. Really interesting store. Very useful. Alexandra says PG. Well, we're keeping it PG. This is, as I mentioned, it's a back massager. Rebel says I'm male. I don't have a back. You don't have to be female for those back massages. Wendy says it's exciting to see. Yes, it's exciting to see. So here's Partners Coffee, another coffee recommendation. Absolutely love these guys. They used to be part of an Australian company called what was the name again? Wow, they changed their name like 2 years ago, and now I forgot. But yeah, they used to be an Australian company, but they split off. Another beautiful area to grab a cup of coffee. I gotta come back here and just sit. Who else loves sitting? Let me know. Even with all the measures that people have taken, is outdoor dining permanent? Yes, it is. Indeed, it is. So a lot of these places got permission either to use their sidewalk or their parklets. Parklets are parking spots right in front. So this is a parklet. They can now use their parklet permanently in whatever way they choose for outdoor dining. So yes, they cannot be taken away. Will restaurants stop using their parklet for outdoor dining and just leave it for parking? Doubtful. One good reason. A restaurant like this, what's the name of this restaurant? It's a Mexican restaurant. A lot of people come here for margaritas. Agave. This restaurant over here, Agave, just found out, and many other restaurants all around New York City just found out that they could double their capacity, double it, because of outdoor dining. It's a big plus for a lot of these restaurants who used to be very tiny. Agave is not the best example, but there's other restaurants out there that are very tiny, and now they're a lot more spacious. So AR, thank you so much for the 20 US dollars. Thank you so much, AR. AR is a very generous super urbanist. So thank you so much, AR. Go around the hearts to AR and all the other super chatters and star senders this broadcast. Let's continue exploring. Let's get to Greenwich Village, shall we? Been mentioning to go to Greenwich Village, but we haven't gotten there yet. Look how beautiful. 7th Avenue. Robert Moses made this. He cut through the middle of Greenwich Village in order to build this avenue. So we got Filipino taqueria. I'm not that hungry, but I really want to try this taqueria. What is a Filipino taco? Does anyone know? Ronald, do you know? My Filipino viewers, let me know. What is a Filipino taco? What do you think it is? Ronald asks, when's the next driving stream? Oh, I'm not sure, but oh yes, we have one planned for early May. Stay tuned. First Saturday, 2 or 3 Saturdays from now. Can weddings be made on Mondays? I think so, but I think a lot of people don't have weddings on Mondays. All right, let's check out this Filipino taco. I can use one of them, but I think I gotta mute because of music. So enjoy some beautiful chill vibes. Briefly before we walked into what I call the Courtyard of Dreams, that song on the Urbanist Coffee Break album is inspired by those moments of walking into a beautiful courtyard out of nowhere. I call them a Courtyard of Dreams. Enjoy it. All right. So, I see an old coworker. Walking through. Forgot his name. Let me know if that happens to you. If you see like, what do you do when you see someone you know, but you really don't know their name? Let me know. I got soda water. So, let's try this Filipino taco. I'm gonna go wait for it. They're gonna bring it out to me, and let's see how it is. Feel free to ask me any questions. Am I still playing the music? No, I'm not. Cello is a beautiful instrument. Always great to ponder. Yes, great to ponder. I love your jacket and your shirt. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Say hi from a distance. Yeah. Well, sometimes, you know, in office environments, you don't really get to know people. It's like years have passed, so you run the risk of the person not recognizing you. It's happened to me on vice versa as well. Also, like high school classmates, because I went to a gigantic high school with 700 people, and people have said hi to me. I have no idea who they are. Do you got adobos? So they ran out chicken adobo. So I got the second best thing, which is a veggie one called jackfruit. Stay tuned. A simple fun bow or the head usually works when you meet someone like that, says Ollie. Indeed. Loma says, hi, babe. Might work in certain neighborhoods. I think it will work in this neighborhood. Next tour of JFK. I think I had enough tours of JFK. I think it was pretty comprehensive what I covered. But when I do end up flying once again internationally, I'll show you the terminal from the inside. Stay tuned. Was that a shot? Yes. Don't worry, but it's normal. No, I'm joking. It's not a shot. Someone just dropped a wooden plank. Mighty Bull, thank you so much for a $5 super chat. Appreciate you. And hello, you look great, says Colleen. Thank you. Yes. How are you doing? And can you do a tour of Flushing in the tennis center? Joy, thank you so much for 100 stars. I appreciate it. The beauties of dining outdoors in New York City. Oh my God, can't beat outdoor dining in New York. So much beauty. Look at how relaxing I feel. Oh. Very relaxing. Woman staring at me with her dog and the garbage truck coming. Roland says just like in the Philippines. Right, indeed. Just like in the Philippines. Hey, is Aya watching right now? That's a tricky question. I'm bad at recognizing faces, says Irene. Right. Some people are not so good at recognizing faces. First time I've seen the bins being emptied. Me too. First time I've seen it in the middle of the day. AR, another $20 for a total of $40. Thank you so much, AR, for the $20 super chat. Plus the previous one. Ooh, now we got the soothing sounds of woodworking being done. Yeah, I got the whiff of the garbage smell when they took out the garbage. It was just a whiff. So AR, thank you so much for $20. I appreciate you. Thank you. Aya Vlogs is watching. Thank you so much, Aya. Hope you're doing well. And Aya is now a new member, a new Super Urbanist. So welcome, Aya, to the Super Urbanist crew. The soothing sounds of a huge circular saw. Yes, indeed. I can recognize a face, but remembering names is a different thing. Is that a drill? I'll show it to you. Right there. That's the noise. Susan, thank you so much for 200 stars. I appreciate you, Susan. Right, this is quite a... It takes long to make a taco. Hopefully it'll come out in the near future. I think they're grabbing the taco from Manila, shipping it in from Manila. So eventually we'll get it. Simon, your exact location right now. I don't give exact locations. But you watch long enough, you'll know where I'm at. I like noise, I hate silence. Ishfaq, yes. Ishfaq. It's quite nice to have a little bit of white noise. You're gonna love New York City in that case. And New York City, I heard, is quiet compared to like cities in India. Mexico City is another city I heard is very loud. There's a few cities I heard that are very, very loud. Oh, like you just got the hint for the next store we're referring to. Like Susie, thank you so much, and Panajotis is also watching on Twitch. Alexander says it's time to take off the jacket. No, Alexander, I'm feeling pretty cozy with this jacket. Your dress is too cool, says Lali. I'm about to go to SoHo after all, so the final stop is in SoHo. Random algorithm says a whiff of garbage sounds like a good band name. It does. A whiff of garbage. I mean, there was a band called Garbage, so. Here says, I love you, bro. Oh, thank you so much. What's going to pull up next? Let's see. Let's see what pulls up next. All adds to the ambiance. Indeed, indeed. Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This looks good. Ooh, oh my god. I'm like excited for this. Whoa. So if you're new to the show, you probably already know, aside from never giving you exact locations, I also don't show the food at all. So I just eat, and you just gotta imagine the food. You gotta use your imaginations in a very deep, powerful way. Use your power of imagination, of visualization, and you imagine what I'm eating. And that's the run of the show for anyone who's new. So welcome to Urbanist, the show where I don't show the food, but I eat it and describe it in extravagant detail. As that field says, this is a no show zone. Pinoy mastication, yes indeed. Is Pinoy a bad word, or is it, I don't know. I'm always a little bit uncomfortable using that word because I'm not entirely sure. Is Pinoy, because all my Filipino friends do use that word. I might be mispronouncing it right now, but is it a bad word? Could be construed as offensive, or is it usually not offensive? Is it like saying Aussie? Because Aussie is not really offensive. All right, let me show you the food. I'm joking around, I do show the food. But the exact location, keep it to yourself if you know where I'm at. NYC Cherry Grove says, if this isn't live, is that yesterday's food? Yes, it is yesterday's food. Oh my god, this is like a quesadilla. Oh, interesting. Oh, actually, not so in the mood for a bunch of cheese, but I'll try a little bit. Look at this. Wow. This is jackfruit, so this is a veggie option. Jackfruit is a massive, gigantic fruit. And it does look like pork. That's the interesting thing about jackfruit. It has a little bit of a pork texture to it as well. It's a bit hard to cook a good jackfruit. Not so common apparently to cook jackfruits in, I heard in the Pacific, but it is a bit more common here. Hey, Laureen! Aloha, Laureen. Laureen, a mega urbanist, is in the house. We got a few mega urbanists. Laureen, Susan, Kay. Let me know if you are also a mega urbanist. Mega urbanists are people who support all three platforms at the same time. Okay, let's try this out. It looks good. It does. Let's try it out without the sauce. The guy inside said that the jackfruit is a bit mild. So usually people like it with the sauce. Let's try it without the sauce first. Wow. It ain't mild. It is a bit spicy. This is like a medium in spice, and like American spice is a medium. Very juicy. I love that they crisp the taco. It does strike me as a corn tortilla, but I can't 100% tell. I can't 100% tell what type of tortilla they're using. It looks overcooked. It does not look overcooked. It does not taste overcooked. It's definitely charred. It's charred on purpose. So Ronald confirms Pinoy is not offensive. Thank you. All right, Pinoy. So for some reason, it's very juicy. I'm not sure why there's so much juiciness. Oh, because there's actual tomato chunks in here. So a lot of tomato chunks. The cheese is pretty much your typical Mexican-American cheese. So I think they're using Monterey Jack. But let's try a little piece of the jackfruit on its own. So yeah, the jackfruit on its own is very mild, but does have a similar texture to a pork. It's like the halfway between a pulled pork and tofu. That's what it tastes like. Hey, bored with usernames. Good evening. Only here for a short visit today, but long enough to add to the food and coffee fund. Thank you so much, bored with usernames. Steve, thank you so much for the amazing super chat. Esafil says, just because this is mastication doesn't mean it'll lead to salivation. We've found salivation here on Urbanist. Let me know if you are seeking salivation as well. Let's try it out with the sauce. Sauce. Because we're in New York. So in New York it's sauce. It's not sauce. Let's try it out. Sauce. Alright, let's go. That's an interesting sauce. The sauce is spicy. It's not like, it's like hot, but it's not like very hot. So I will also put it like a medium. It's like a medium sauce, but it's a bit fruity. I don't know why. Are they using like mangoes in this? Maybe. It's a bit fruity, in the good way. Is it overpriced? This cost me $4 something, $4. I wouldn't say it's overpriced in the middle of New York City, in the middle of Greenwich Village. It's okay. It's okay price. For the big taco, it's a good, okay price. I love it. Highly recommend it. This is a great taco. Functions a little bit more like a quesadilla. I love the jackfruit that they used. I have one more bite. Next time I'm gonna try a taco without the cheese. Maybe it's made with pineapple. Maybe that sauce is made with pineapple. Masarap, says Ronald. Ooh, what does masarap mean? I know just a little bit of Tagalog. Kumusta ka? Magandang apo. Salamapot. Mahal kita. What else do I know? I know a few other things. Good taco, I like it. I'm gonna drink a little bit of this. So here, I briefly showed a soda machine. In general, most places, you can get soda for free. So you don't have to pay for the soda. Just like you don't have to pay for the tap water. You can get the soda for free. So that's a pro tip. Hello, Aya says, haha, you're cute speaking Tagalog. Or should I say Tagalog? Tagalog, yeah. I just know a few words. I know a few words before we continue walking around. The reason I know a few words in Tagalog, you guys really want to know. Do you really want to know? Let me know if you really are really curious. I mean, it's a it's a very vulnerable story. Where can I get free soda? Generally, any place where they have a soda machine, just ask them, I'm gonna grab some water. Generally, they're okay with you grabbing the soda. I have not encountered a place where they're like telling you gotta pay for that. I only encountered it once. Yeah, only once. And it wasn't this place. Anthony guessed correctly. So I had a massive crush on a Filipino girl back when I was in my very early 20s. And And I used to hang out in a huge Filipino crew. So a massive Filipino crew. And one of my other friends, who was also Filipino, she gifted me a book making out in Tagalog. And this book had all the different translations of how to like, what to say like on a date in Tagalog. And I just learned it. I just read that book, consumed it, started using it with my Filipino friends. It did not quite work out with that particular girl that I had a crush on, but I used those words with all my other friends who I just used to hang out with a bunch of Filipinos back in early college. And it was always a blast, especially like meeting their parents and just saying, "Kumusta ka?" And they'll be like, "Oh shit," they'll be so happy. And they'll give me like 10 pounds of pancit. And bored with usernames, I think it will be later. What are you referring to? It's always about a girl or a boy. Sometimes, indeed. I'm not sure if the guy said hi to me. Say some words in Spanish. No hablo nada de español. El español mío es bien limitado. Bien limitado. No hablo tanto español. No soy fluente en español. All right. Let's continue walking through. Let's finish off. That was a wonderful stop. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend. Flipsigi. Really good spin on tacos. Highly recommend it. I really enjoyed this jackfruit quesadilla. Susie says, sounds like my Spanish. Most Pinoys, people from Philippines know English, yes. Highly recommend, in the spirit of all things Filipino, as you're eating these tacos, search up Filipino movie trailers. And you'll see they speak what's called Taglish in many Filipino films. And it's a combination of course, Tagalog and English. And if you know Spanish, you're going to understand even more of it because Tagalog has a lot of words in Spanish as well. So they're very hilarious movie trailers because they're extremely dramatic. And if you don't know any Tagalog, you'll understand like every other word. And it's just a really surreal experience. Same thing with a few Bollywood films, which are kind of in Hinglish or a combination of a local language with some English. Wendy has been trying to learn Espanol for 8 years. Well, I hope you learned some Espanol. Wendy, it's really fun to know the great language of Espanol. Exactly my experience. I find fascinating how those Spanish words are pronounced. Chris says, yes, if you know Spanish, you're going to understand some Tagalog. Yep. Thankfully, I know Spanish and English, so I think I can manage in the Philippines. Here's Stonewall Inn. Lali, do I see any Bollywood films? I've seen a few. One of my favorite ones thus far is Lagan for Bollywood. I haven't seen the ones that take place in New York yet. I've been meaning to see My Name is Khan, which takes place in New York City. It's a Bollywood film. Let me know. Does anyone have any good recommendations for any Filipino films or Bollywood films that take place in New York or partly take place in New York? Let me know. Have you seen the film White Tiger, says Andrew? No, I have not. Soleil, not New York City by Classic, says Rebel. Recommend Soleil. But do let me know. Since we're in New York, do let me know if there's any great Bollywood films or any other international films that take place in New York. Ooh, now it's getting chilly. So yeah, today is a chilly 60-degree day. So here's Gay Street, and this is one of my favorite coffee shops in all of New York City. A, I just love Joe coffee, really great coffee. But B, is these benches on this beautiful street. Absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Highly recommend it. Hi, legal cannabis dispensary. I don't think they have legal cannabis dispensaries in New York. I think that might take unfortunately a little longer. There are hemp dispensaries where they sell non-THC hemp, which means like CBD and other things like that. Valentina, do I want to learn another language? Great question. I want to learn Italian. Italiano. I want to learn a little bit of French. 6th Avenue, ladies and gentlemen. I love this view. Look at this building is way better appreciated from this angle. I wonder if they're probably apartments now. Yeah, I would love to learn Italian, a little bit of French. I would love to be fluent in Italian. I aim to be fluent in Italian. And I would love to learn Japanese. And more Tagalog. I have a feeling I'll pick up Tagalog very quickly. Roland says, I'm glad you enjoyed the tacos at the HMIC. Yes, I do recommend it. It was a really good taco. And I'm glad that they made a quesadilla, like a small quesadilla that's relatively inexpensive.
Potentially, we could all meet up within about a 3-hour drive.
So many of you are wondering how I look like when walking around. This is how I look like. This is how the camera looks. Yeah. Ida, I'm doing very well. How are you doing, Ida? Gigi says, I'm looking mighty fine. Thank you so much, Gigi. I appreciate it. Do you have a special streaming events coming on? Great question. Yes, so stay tuned. Saturday at 1 p.m. I will be exploring Francis Tavern, one of the oldest taverns in the entire U.S. Not continuous, but it's been in the same location since the Revolution. So check that out. Francis Tavern at 1 p.m. on Saturday, April 24th. And then April 30th, I'll be live with Mrs. Q at 2 p.m. Stay tuned. So let's walk through here. I'm just gonna mute for a little bit. Bear with me. So that was Courtyard of Dreams from an Urbanist Coffee Break album. And here are some tulips. Miguel, Marcela pregunta, ¿ya no usa mascarilla? No tanto. Afuera y no está tan lleno. Hay áreas más lleno. Cuando hay áreas más lleno, yo uso la mascarilla. Como ahora mismo voy a ponerme la mascarilla. No, I'm not using the mask too much outside because the city is not really that packed. But when it is places that are packed or going indoors, then I put it on. Yeah. Adri says beautiful park. My pleasure, Adri. Glad I can show you the beautiful park.
Book through like October.
Are you selling hard copies of the album? Yes. Teespring.com/stores. No, sorry, no. I don't have hard copies. My mistake. Not yet. Stay tuned. I'm gonna see if I can print it on vinyl. I only have high quality copy that you can download. Digital album. If you want to directly support the show and also get access to 5 bonus tracks. Let me know if anyone purchased the Teespring and let me know which of the bonus tracks is your favorite. There's 5 of them. Two of them are alternate cuts of the songs, and one original song and one extended song of a very favorite of people of the original album. Hey Sharpie, your Insta posts are awesome. I'm so glad you enjoy my Insta posts. What's this park called? So this is Washington Square Park. So I am probably gonna come back here on a Saturday night because apparently Washington Square Park has been a party hub on Saturdays. So stay tuned. I might do a live stream here on a Saturday night, show you what's happening in Washington Square Park late at night. It's been such a party hub that police has come in and raided the place at 4 a.m. try to kick people out. So it's been kind of a crazy scene here. George, where's the drummer that hates you? He doesn't play here too much. That guy is mostly in other places. He's usually in Central Park. And yeah, mostly in Central Park. So you're making a reference to, for anyone who doesn't know, there's a particular jazz band where the drummer has given me the finger multiple times when passing through with the camera. So the guy doesn't really like being filmed for a busker. But he doesn't play here in Washington Square. He's usually in other parts. Yo, it's wild there at night. You got more courage than me, says Dutch. Well, Dutch, that's my intention, to show the party scene. I'm gonna get crunk with the people here. So this is slightly inspired by the Arc de Triomphe, but more inspired by the triumphant arches of ancient Rome. TT says, oh my god, you were at the Highline today? I knew it was you. You saw me? I have to Google crunk. Yes, I'm gonna get crunk over here in live video with all the people. Party, dancing. Full immersive live video experience, but it's gonna be very educational. You're gonna learn what crunk is. You're gonna learn the dynamics of partying. Gizem says, how are you? This is the first time I've seen. You're so cute. Oh, thank you so much, Gizem. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to Urbanist Live. So there's a very fragrant smell of oregano in the air.
No, I met her once.
Oregano is a code word, just in case you have little ones watching. Robert says, sorry, it's me. Robert, there's a lot of oregano here. And now oregano is legal. Hasn't only been used for pizzas. It's college all over again. So this is basically New York City's quad. So if you don't know what a quad is the courtyard area of a college campus. Not sure what the song he's playing. Yeah, not sure what the song is playing. I would love to listen to some Cole Porter. That would be really cool. What's the song? What's the famous Cole Porter song? I love the love song by Cole Porter. Anyone can remind me. And Alexandra, if you're encountering buffering, it's not on my end. Alexandra, all the buffering you're encountering is your internet connection. No, it's not me, it's you. No, if anyone's encountering buffering, yeah, it's a good chance it's on your end. There's no buffering here. Buffering does not exist on Urbanist. We don't ever lose connection. Anthony says, ain't misbehaving. Yeah, Alexandra, let's keep the buffering messages to a minimum. It's on your end, so check with your internet service provider. And pro tip, if anyone's ever has issues, I know some parts of the world, and just in some parts in general, have bad internet. So if you're watching videos like this, it does help to close out Netflix, close out Spotify. If you're using Google Drive or Dropbox on your laptop, also close those out. They do suck a lot of internet service as well. Even Facebook, it does it as well. Ronald, yes, Andrew, cool. Have I been to Mahmoud's Falafel? Asked Jason. Many times, Jason. I am a local New Yorker, so I've been to Mahmoud's many times. I also went to college here, and that's a very typical late night college bite after going clubbing or concert going. People usually go to that place around 2 a.m. to grab a good falafel. So yeah, it's very good. Had it many times. So I recommend it for anyone. It's we're nearby it on St. Mark's Place, and there's another one here in Greenwich Village as well. Am I passing by the pretty apartments with Belgian blocks? We're gonna see some Belgian blocks. Yeah, there's a few in this area. So we're surrounded by NYU buildings. So we have just a little bit left for this walk. We're nearing close to SoHo. So slam that like button right now, like that car slamming that pedal, and let me know if you're on Team Like on Facebook. Slam that heart button and let me know if you're on Team Like. Let's continue walking all the way to SoHo. If you have any last remaining questions about New York City, if you don't know who I am, I explore cities all around the world, but I'm a local New Yorker, so I know New York City off the top, from the back of my hand, basically. I've done more than 1,000 videos in New York alone, 1,500 around there. So crazy amount of videos in New York City. So feel free to ask me anything. What brand are your shoes? They're a brand called M. Jemmy. I actually have a live video of when I got the shoes, or when I explored the store to get the shoes. It was a collaboration with them, so they did sponsor these shoes. So I'm so grateful for them for doing that. So yeah, M. Jemmy, they're located in SoHo as well. Joe is a team liker and a sharer. Oh, I'm glad, Joe. Thank you so much. you have some videos from Italy. I do, Ida. They were pre-YouTube. So I posted the replays on YouTube on a different channel called Urbanist Bonus. If Alexandra, Ronald, or Trish could put the link to the Urbanist Bonus channel. It's exclamation point bonus. Yeah, so I have that, but if you go on Facebook, I have every city I visited. It's 17, 18 cities thus far. A waitress says, "You've come a long way, baby." Thank you, waitress. Wow, the reflection on these windows are pristine. What's the best places to live in New York City? I am not a real estate vlogger. There's a lot of great real estate vloggers out there. If I were to live anywhere and you have the budget for it, it would be SoHo or Tribeca. But that is pretty much out of budget for most people, unfortunately, because the prices are very high there. So next best bet is East Village. Bushwick would be really cool, I think, place to live. Queens is really awesome, Astoria specifically. Upper West Side, and also the Upper East Side around Yorkville. Chris, what is Dig? So did we pass a Dig? So Dig, yeah, right down there, is a casual food place. They sell bowls, very American style bowls. Really great, actually, if you want a quick lunch without the hassle of going to a restaurant. Check out Dig. I really do appreciate them. Their bowls are with like roasted sweet potato, rice or farro. They have other ingredients like Brussels sprouts. Basically everything you would see like in the American Thanksgiving, sans the turkey. Nice neighborhoods in Queens. Yeah, there's all, like, New York City is huge, everyone. There's 5 boroughs. Huge places a lot of places to choose from. For context, I've been researching other cities where there's other cities where living in a specific neighborhood might not always be a good option because you're right next to a very dangerous neighborhood, or you have to walk through a dangerous neighborhood to get to the city center or to get to the subway stop. That is usually not the case here in most of Manhattan, most of Brooklyn, and most of northern Queens. Really not the case. Basically every neighborhood is good. It just depends on the vibe. Do you want to live close to the restaurants? Then you have to choose a neighborhood like East Village, or where young people are at, East Village as well. If you want to live in a place a little bit more fashionable, then go Soho. If you want to live in a place that's a little bit more quieter, a little bit more upscale, the Upper East Side, or a little bit more family oriented, then you go Astoria, or you go to Park Slope. So there's a huge variety of those neighborhoods. So I don't think you can make a bad choice in New York City, at least, when it comes to neighborhoods, because you're fairly close always to a subway stop, and you're fairly close in most locations to good food, good coffee, and good parks. Inspired life enjoys the eclectic nature of New York City. Right. Girl in the curl, no, not really. Streets are not so full, so not really wearing a mask at the moment. Probably one of the more beautiful buildings in New York City. I don't know too much about its history. I gotta like research its history. It's absolutely mind-blowingly gorgeous. Yeah, in the comments, let's not get into pros or cons about wearing masks. It's just my personal choice. So make your own personal choices. Let's not discuss that. This is not a medical channel. There's no medical advice here. Rainer, where does Spider-Man live? I think you've asked that a few times, Rainer. He lives in Forest Hills, Queens. Forest Hills. It's in Queens. It's not Manhattan. It's another borough. What's the oldest building in New York? Great question. There's a building from the 1600s in Queens, not in Queens, Brooklyn, right by Brownsville, Brooklyn. There's a house from the 1600s. The oldest house in Manhattan is said to be the Morris Jamel Mansion, and that dates back to the early 1700s. All right, so we just walked through from the High Line across bits of the West Village into Greenwich Village, and now here is Houston, not to be confused with Houston. It's not named after Sam Houston, the Texan. It's named after another guy called Houston, who was from New York. I think it was a lord or something like that. I gotta research more into Houston, but here is the differentiating point between the village, some people might know this as NoHo though, and SoHo, south of Houston. Aya, nice to see you here, Aya. Welcome. Hello, Fila. Welcome. Ah, look at this. The wall. The gateway to Soho. And welcome, Soho. Thank you for all your walks, says Colleen. My pleasure, Colleen. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Joe. Where's the area? Little Nolita. So Nolita is a portmanteau of Little Italy. So is that a Little Nolita? It's right next door. A few blocks down. This way. All right, so thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Starting in May, Saturdays at 1 p.m. will be officially wanderings. So those will be wanderings. That means unplanned, spontaneous videos like today. Saturday will be the official day for them. And then of course I might do them randomly at other days. Wednesdays, stay tuned. I might do them as a history tour day, or tour day as in general. So more planned videos. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. See you on Saturdays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. We're going to visit this Saturday at 1 p.m. We're going to visit the Francis Tavern, get an inside tour. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you to all the star senders, the super chatters, the PayPalers, the patrons, the supporters, and the members for supporting this show in all of its various ways. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Now I'm off to explore Soho to do some shopping. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.